Hello, we have a new update, and I bring to you gradient coloring. Okay, off with the jokes. Actually, yeah, we do have new gradient coloring functionality, and today let's talk about this. So under the coloring palette, in the coloring tab, you will have these settings for gradient coloring. Here, to actually use gradient coloring, you can add selection. So basically, select all your drones, add selection. These settings are quite similar to what we have in DTS setups and nodes, so probably not much explaining there. Underneath, we have flat, radial, and custom gradient types. And this setting just can stay on auto. It basically detects your type of material. And underneath, we don't really need to do much yet, because we just have to click Start Preview. What this does, it automatically starts preview of the gradient, and it spawns two empties, one of which is the end of your gradient color ramp, and the other one is the start of your gradient color ramp. Respectively, here the cross one is the start, and it's black, and the end is white. So what you can do now in here, in the panel section, you can add an additional color steps. And of course, you can change their colors. So let's add something blue here, then let's add red or pink, and finally let's add maybe yellow. And here, this is our gradient. You can, of course, slide these color steps around, and that will affect your gradient. As well as you can, of course, slide your and animate as well, animate your empties. But first, let's just position them and see what we can do statically. So this mode that we are now using is flat or linear gradient, but we have as well other types of gradients. So let's try radial. Radial is kind of self-explanatory. It's probably easier to see when you put the origin in the middle. So this will be a radial gradient. Of course, as always, you can change colors, add more stops, but you will still have just two of these empties. And the third mode you have available to you is custom. And for custom, these empties actually will not be used. For custom, you will have additional empties, and you can add them here with this add option. And you can see as I added it, this first word, it spawns here. So as I just added this one color stop, it's currently just color like pink red, and therefore everything is red. If I now add another one, let's see where it is. I can spawn in the bottom. So if I now add another one, then this is the green one. But of course, you can change like the colors as you wish. Check the other one. You can actually select it here, yeah, not by selecting the object, but by selecting it in this list. And then if you want another one, for example, let's go here. So this one, let's keep it blue, and let's add another one and put it here. So you can see with this custom option, you can make gradients like by these regions. So they are supposed to like basically merge one into each other. And here you don't have like specific vector or like radial or linear gradient on its own, but you can specify gradient as you wish by just adding these empties near the places where you want the color to be affected. You can also here increase this radius, and as you increase it, it will basically spill the color farther. So if let's say I increase it for all of them, it will be more of a more general color because they are all overspilling each other. And if you just decrease this color, so let's say something like 30, but I think we were on 20 meters first. So then if you put it at 30, it will be more pronounced, like each color. So like this, yeah. Well, strength is more of a, like, it doesn't necessarily increase the radius, but it will be harder to merge into that color for the other colors. So you can easily then swap it back to your previous gradients. So if we do this, then it's again the flat one, and we are using the old start and end empties. And if we go back to custom, then it's still the same custom gradient we specified. Now, how do we actually color with this? Because now that setup is like dynamic. So you don't really have keyframes. So keyframe it, you will have to apply gradient keyframe here. So let's delete the old one, the static. We can just apply gradient keyframe. And this actually stops the preview, at least if you have this checked. So now you can see there's nothing happening. For example, if I put it back to flat, you can see it's just that keyframe that we added. There's no flat gradient. So to start it again, you just have to, again, press start preview. And it flickers because it dynamically adds that color. So whenever you change the keyframe, it basically shows you at the start the original colors that are dictated by keyframes, and then it automatically updates to your gradient. Yeah, and if we, for example, here don't have this check mark, and then we click apply gradient, then we can still edit, or it's the wrong, this one. We can still edit these empties. And what it's good for, it's good for animation. So let's, for example, what can we do? Let's, for example, put the start here, and let's actually parent these. So I can parent this end empty to the beginner empty, and I can, for example, here just start animating this this start empty with rotation, and let's go like 60 frames maybe farther or whatever, and rotate it on Y. So let's say 360, so a full rotation. Then we will add keyframe here, yeah, all channels. And it's really a bit hard to preview because it's like going back and forth to that original keyframes. And this is why I will show you the next tool afterwards in the next video for basically using masks as gradients. However, you can still technically animate this. What you just should do is basically go here, apply gradient color, then go a few frames further, apply again, apply again, apply again, and basically you are just baking the animation. And no, maybe I will, if this will be very practical and like easy to use, then I might add dedicated bake operation, so you don't have to go through each frame where you want to add keyframe and bake it. However, for now, yeah, you just decide where you want to add the keyframe. And so when you're, for example, done, let's just stop preview or add the final keyframe with the stop preview, check. And now you will have this basically animation. Let's see it without all these distractions. So this is how you can also animate these empties. You can just animate your gradient empties that control them, and then simply apply gradient color in the keyframes you want. So it interpolates it through them. Yeah, the remaining iframe, like remaining these checkboxes, they simply do what they literally say. So delete empties, it deletes empties as well. Clear bindings, it clears all these start end bindings. Res and reset ramp, yeah, this just resets the color ramp. You have also some advanced settings. This was mostly for, and still is for debugging and stuff. And you can just run factory reset. It basically just resets this whole panel in case if something seems broken, because this is the first update that we introduced this, and as you know, with new tools, usually there are some issues. Yeah, I think that's mostly it about this section. So we will next we will look at the masks and new features in the masks. Bye bye.